So, I know it's been a long time since I posted a video. I will give you an update of what's been going on. I am on my second contract. Now I'm on the Island Princess, and I have been doing the Panama Canal for 2 months. And during that 2 months, I had a roommate. So, it was harder to make videos, and I didn't know I was gonna have a roommate when I got here, but we were overbooked on musicians, so I had a roommate for a couple months. Now I don't have a roommate, and I'm going to post a couple videos before I leave. I'm heading to Canada and then to Alaska, and I have like 2 weeks left on the contract, so I'll try and post some footage. So I was living on the top bunk of the bunk bed, and my roommate was on the bottom, and we didn't use the ladder, so I would hop off every time to get to the bathroom in the night. And I had this horrible fear, because it gets pitch black in here, that he would be getting up out of his bed at the same time as me, and then I would jump out and land on him. And I had this terrible fear this whole contract. So I'm relieved. I'm going to put up the top bunk and move to the bottom. So I'm not sure why I included the first bit of me putting up the bunk bed, but I did, and I'm not going to take it out now. This week I'm going to cover some frequently asked questions. Earlier in the week I was contacted by a guy named Ryan out of Edmonton, Alberta through email, and he basically said he's just now applying for different agencies, and he also does the solo guitarist vocalist position, but he's looking to get his first contract. So the videos were super helpful, and he said he had some questions, and I told him he could go ahead and send me those questions over email, and he wrote such good questions I decided I would go ahead and cover them in a video. So here we go. First question he asked is, what are some things that you really wish somebody would have told you before you went to work on a cruise ship? And he said things he doesn't want to have to find the hard way. So I said, first, one thing is that I overpacked the first time. I brought way too much stuff. You got to remember that you're going to be carrying your luggage through the airport and through the cruise port, and you're not going to have any help. So you want to pack as light as possible. Plus, if you end up having a roommate, you're going to have to share a tight space anyway. So you want to pack as minimally as possible. I also said I wasn't aware that we would have to do different crew duties, like crew drills, which we do twice a cruise, one with the passengers and one where we just practice for an emergency, and those take like an hour each. It's not that much time, it just can be a little annoying to have to do in the middle of the day or while you're in port. Also, IPM duties, which I mentioned in another video, but basically that's a day where you have to stay on the ship and you can't get off even when you're in port. And that happens once every 3 or 4 ports. You have to cover an IPM duty. So that, I love getting off the ship, so I really don't like having to do that. Princess doesn't allow tip jars, some cruise lines do. And also in port, you're gonna have to come back 30 minutes to an hour early, which also, I don't know, I love being off the ship, so that can be annoying too. Additionally, you're gonna have tons of free time, so much so that you're not gonna know what to do with it. And one thing I would recommend is getting a Kindle to do some reading. Also, if you get an external hard drive, that's going to be something you really want on the ship, because all the crew have external hard drives, and we pass them around and sharing movies and music and TV shows, and it's a super good investment. Get a big one because they'll fill up quick. Additionally, you might want to find something to study. Estoy estudiando español y puedo practicar mucho con la gente del crucero. Also, I love fresh coffee, so you may want to get it set up like this if you're a coffee drinker. I got a French press, a percolator, and some fresh coffee, because ship coffee really does suck. Next, he asked me if it's a good idea to haggle with the salary that they're offering you if you get a contract offer from an agency or cruise line. And I would say definitely don't do that, because it may look bad. They're not going to change it. It's your first contract. Those salaries are set. You may get a raise if you work with a company for a while. They may bump you up a couple hundred per month or so, but not off the bat. You won't be able to negotiate with that. And next, ask me have I only worked for Princess Cruise Line so far, and how's it been, and do I know much about other cruise lines? I'm still relatively new at this. I've been with Princess for 2 contracts, and that's it. I haven't worked on other ships, but I've had a great experience here. I really have no complaints. One thing you should keep in mind is that not everybody enjoys it this much. Musicians, some love it, and some people come on a first contract and really don't like it. You know, you gotta be ready to be stuck on a ship for months at a time. It definitely isn't for everybody, but if you can dig being away from home for a while and you know, traveling around and meeting tons of new people, it's an awesome experience. From what I understand, I talked to a lot of people who've worked, other musicians from different cruise lines, and they all seem to like Princess the best. Everybody wants a gig here. Princess pays more, and additionally, it's nice because you're playing for an older crowd. That can make gigs less exciting. Sometimes I have to play a lot older music. I can't really play new stuff, but it also means that the ship is a lot less hectic, and the latest you'll ever play is like 11:30. The ship's really quiet after 10:30 at night, and so you won't have late night sets. You're finished early. You can go enjoy the rest of the night. And other cruise lines, I know some perks and negative things. I've heard Carnival's very rough to work with because you have to do extra duties, and passengers can be really, really rowdy, and a lot of a younger crowd, which means you'll be up late, playing late into the night. Some cruise lines don't have an IPM. Some cruise lines allow tip jars. Some guarantee a solo cabin. I found out this contract that I'm not guaranteed a solo cabin. It's in my contract that the solo guitarist position has priority, but we are not guaranteed a solo cabin. So this contract, I had to share a cabin for a while. Now I'm back to a solo cabin. Next, he asked me what program I use for chords and lyrics, and do I auto scroll or do I use my fingers? So I don't really auto scroll. I don't use a pedal to change the screen. I pretty much between chords I'll flip it if I need to. But the apps I use Ultimate Guitar, which is great. You can buy like a lifetime membership for $25, and it's awesome. You can download different chord charts with the lyrics straight to your iPad and to a library that'll save, and that you don't need internet to access. You won't have internet on the ship unless you pay for it, so you're not going to be able to look things up and access it. So you want something that'll save your iPad. I also use an app called Song Sheet, which basically just saves the lyrics. The next question he asked me is also about the iPad. He says, "Are you totally happy with your iPad stand?" So the one he's referring to is from a different video that I posted on the last contract. Between contracts, I actually went and bought a new stand. The old one was kind of like a mic stand with a gooseneck adjustable end that I could put right in front of me, but I found out that was kind of a pain to carry from gig to gig. You got to keep in mind you're going to be switching stages all day, going from one stage to the other, sometimes 2 or 3 times in a day, and you don't want something bulky. So I switched this contract to this iPad stand. There's a lot like this, but I like the one with the gooseneck that you can adjust. But this one just clips right into the mic stand, and it's super easy to travel with. That's another thing is airline policies. When you're bringing a lot of music equipment, it adds up like weight, and you don't want to have an overweight bag because almost every airline is going to charge you like $100 for that. So the lighter the better. And when you pack, you want as minimal as possible. So this is the new one. I like it a lot better. The next question he asked me was, how many pairs of nice pants and shirts did you bring? And basically just asking about the dress code, which I found out with Princess, with the 2 ships I've been on, it's a lot more laid back than the agency told me. I was expecting to have to dress up nice every night, and I do, but I don't have to wear like dress pants and nice shoes and a tie like I thought I was going to have to. I wear shirts like this at night and khaki pants, and I wear like some Sperry's. Like it's a little bit more laid back than you're expecting. I have the tuxedo, which I have to wear on formal nights. That's once or twice a cruise, and I brought one tuxedo. I wear it twice or two or three times before I take it to dry cleaning. And shirts, I brought 5 or 6 shirts like this. Also, sometimes I'll wear just a short sleeve polo shirt. Princess is pretty laid back. I'm not sure how strict other cruise lines are, but you can wash things for free. There's free dry cleaning for cruise, so pack as light as possible. And the last question he asked me is 5 to 10 mid-range, easy on the voice party songs that go over really well. So I found out, at least on Princess, that you're not always playing for the party you think you're going to be playing for. Sometimes you're in a restaurant, sometimes you're in just a lounge and it's more chill. You're not like just going crazy and everybody's up dancing. You know, a lot of times it's more laid back. People are having a drink and watching, so you don't have to play party music all the time. So some songs that are go-to songs you need to know, people request more than anything. Sweet Caroline, which I play almost every day, and I'm almost wearing it out for myself, but people love it. So Sweet Caroline, Hotel California, Wagon Wheel, Take Me Home Country Roads, Uptown Funk. An acoustic version of that's pretty cool. People like that. Any Beatles, always Beatles. Hey Ya by Outkast, and then also another big request is Hallelujah and Danny Boy. They're quieter songs, but people love those songs. And then Jimmy Buffett is always solid. And have something other than Margaritaville too, like Bins, or I also like Cheeseburger in Paradise. To save your voice, you can play chill as much as you want. Also, you can change the key. You should lower the key as low as you need to. I went and saw Billy Joel last year. He was lowering, like Piano Man, he lowered 4 or 5 keys. You know, you can save your voice. Nobody's going to know you changed the key. Also, you can do instrumental songs occasionally if your voice is hurting in a set. He also mentioned that he is still relatively new at guitar in the last 4 years, which is actually really impressive. That he's getting some contract offers. It sounds like he's picked it up quick, but he said, "What as far as guitar, how would you become more proficient, or is it going to matter?" And I was kind of in the same situation when I first came on. I was nervous about singing because I always felt like I was a better guitar player than a singer. But you get so much better when you're playing every day. You practice all the time. It's constant practice every day, 2 or 3 sets a day. You're gonna get way better guitar. I became a way better singer just over these 6 months. Like, it's unbelievable when I look back at the videos from 6 months ago or a year ago. So you don't have anything to worry about, and it's not like you're constantly, people are just like management, cruise directors, and constantly watching. You know, you can make mistakes sometimes and learn from them. Nobody's gonna notice. Nobody's gonna care. It's all about a personality, and if you're fun with the people, that's what is more important time and time again. You just need to be interactive and you know, let people have a good time. So I wanted to say to Ryan, thanks for all the questions, and good luck. He's actually told me today, he's been messaging me, that he has 2 contract offers, official contract offers with 2 different agencies, and he's trying to decide which one to pick from, which is great. If you get a contract offer, you're good enough to play on a ship. You'll be fine. And I'm going to post a video next week covering some more random, frequently asked questions. I'm going to take them from the comments or from other emails I've received. And if you guys want to comment some new questions underneath this video, I'll try and post them in the next video. But thanks so much for watching. Be sure to subscribe. I'll try and post a couple more videos before I leave this week. And hope this was helpful.